Welcome to the very first episode of Coda Chats, a new, more relaxed corner of the Coda Podcast, where we strip away the tech talk and have real, honest conversations about life as a wedding filmmaker. For this debut episode, I'm joined by Becky Thompson and Becky Kinross, amazing filmmakers and also the duo behind the Becky Sessions podcast. Together, we dive into the realities of navigating parenthood while self-employed, our collective thoughts on the rise of content creators, and why the world of wedding filmmaking seems to be heavily dominated by men. We also explore the very different experiences male and female filmmakers can have on a wedding day, plus plenty more fascinating, funny, and honest insights along the way. This episode sets the tone for what Coda Chats is all about. Real people, real experiences, and the conversations we should all be having in our industry. Good evening, Beckies. How are you both? Welcome to the Coda Podcast.
Thank you. Hello.
Thanks for having us on.
Yeah.
My pleasure. So this is a first because Becky T, you were the first person to appear on the Coda Podcast twice, I think.
Well, I didn't know if you were going to mention it, but you know, I did.
Double Becky!
So a bit of history about us, how we met. We all met at the Tweer Nationals, didn't we, a couple of years ago?
Yep.
And I remember because it was just, you guys were the only female finalists, weren't you?
Yeah.
And,
But it feels like ages ago.
Well, it was because it was 2023.
24.
Beginning
Right.
of 24.
No, wait, no. Yeah, 2024, yeah. Last year's.
Yeah.
It
Right.
wasn't last January. It was the January
January
before because I
before.
missed one.
Yeah, that's the one. But like, I remember like when I spoke to you guys before the awards, like you guys are very different energies, but somehow you're like the perfect combination, aren't you, when you put the two of you together? Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Becky's really positive and upbeat, and I'm just like really sarcastic and laid back. That's it. Negative.
And yet-
We balance each other out.
Yeah, we find an equilibrium. And that has kind of come in fruition recently with the launch of the Becky Sessions, which
Becky
is your
Sessions!
podcast. So between the two of you, can you explain to us what the Becky Sessions is, who it's for, and what it puts out to the world?
The Becky
So it started because I just got back from the Scottish, what do you call it?
Wow.
The
Scottish Summit. The
summit,
yeah.
thank you. Yes, the summit.
Yeah.
And there were very few female attendees. So I was moaning to Becky about it. It was a really great event, but there wasn't very many women there. And then she just sent a message saying, Becky, we should do a podcast. We need more female voices in the industry.
I had been thinking of doing a podcast for a while, but was like, I can't think of a good... I was like, I need to do it for a reason. Can't just do it for...
Yeah, because there's a few of them, isn't there? You don't just want to repeat the same thing.
Yeah. So, and then I just thought, oh my God, Becky, we should do it as a duo. And as like to hopefully encourage other female videographers to get into the industry or know that there are other female videographers out there, because there just seems to be a great dominance of male videographers. So I messaged Becky and I had the name. That night I had the name, didn't I, Bex?
I mean, you were on it, weren't you? I sort of thought it was one of these things like, yeah, we should do a podcast. Yeah, one day. But that was it. Logo was out. The theme tune was out.
We have to give credit to the great designer that is ChatGPT. And I can actually hear graphic designers rolling and shivering around as soon as I said that, because it's awful, isn't it? But we got the logo, we got the colouring, and we got the name, and we also got the structure of the show.
Most of the content is from ChatGPT. It's
ChatGPT.
how we all live our lives now, though, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, yeah. You realise it. I feel like ChatGPT and AI in general, rather than it taking over, is really helping things happen. That kind of stuff that you think, oh, I can't do this because I need to do that and this and that, and you get ChatGPT to do all that crap stuff. Get the blurb out there, and then you can just concentrate on the doing.
Yeah, and it also just helped us start on the road of kind of what path it should start with, and then we just let it evolve and just see what happens, and we're kind of just winging it like all the time. We're just going, we're winging it.
Yeah.
But actually it's developed into something pretty awesome, because we're getting lots of feedback from other female videographers saying how much they like it, and are just like encouraged by hearing similarities that we're experiencing in the job from a female perspective.
But it's not just women as well. We have had lots of really lovely messages from male
we
videographers
have.
as well, which is what we did want to do. We didn't want to exclude it. It's not just like making a little group of women. And a lot of men have said it's nice to see it from a female perspective, because obviously we do just tend to, when we have these big social events, there's a lot of men there and not very many. So yeah, it's been nice to have the support.
Yeah, because I love it. And then, yeah, obviously, I'm a bloke.
Are you? Are you really though?
Well,
I mean,
yeah, at least 70% there. Yeah. But yeah, I love it, and I like having that kind of fresh perspective on the industry. And it's a great conversation to have. Although obviously not every episode you're banging on about where are all the women.
No,
but it's literally how the job and how the job unfolds for you guys, and what your experience is being female in this world. And have you found, because my opinion, kind of looking out there, so I'm always trying to look for videographers. I'm a bit of a nerd. I'm always looking at people's work. And especially with Coda, I've always been keen to try and make it 50-50, male and female, as much as possible when it comes to the conference itself. So I'm always out there looking for talent. But from what I can see, it is predominantly men.
Yeah.
But have you found anything different since the podcast has gone out there? Have there been lots of female videographers that have been almost hidden away, and we haven't heard their voices and stuff because the industry is so dominated, they've just kind of like hidden themselves away?
Yeah, there definitely are a lot more women out there, just not being as involved in conversations. Even on Facebook groups, there's kind of the big ones, and it is mainly men that are involved in those conversations. And I don't know if it's just women just feel that that they're open to criticism or anything on there. I mean, men have conversations in slightly different ways to women. I feel like we're a little bit more... not kinder, but I think maybe more considerate of each other's feelings. Men on social media particularly can be kind of like can attack each other quite quickly. Any kind of, I mean, Rue, I know you've released products and stuff recently. Anyone who releases anything, straight away there's always someone who is criticizing it. Mic mags are the best things ever to come out, and there's still so many people that say, why would you do that? Who's even using the TXs anymore? There's so much kind of criticism that comes out straight away, and I definitely don't want to generalize. Obviously it isn't always men,
but it's always men.
I think but I do think that in general women are a little bit more, I don't know, we're less
empathetic.
To the point. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I don't think you'd often see a female on a social post being mean for no reason, whereas you're very likely to see a bloke do that. I think.
I don't know.
From my experience.
I don't know if that's completely true, because we all know we can, as the female species, we can be pretty vicious.
We can,
So, but we don't seem to feel that when we're just talking about Facebook groups and support groups. I call them support groups.
That's what I mean, basically. Unlike kind of like those kind of groups, like the photography groups and the videography groups.
Yeah.
You often see blokes going at each other, and the only time you ever see a female doing it seems to be when a bloke has attacked them. So
yeah.
Which is
But on the flip side, that there's always male videographers in those groups that are there to defend not just women but men as well. There's always people that are backing up. As soon as someone says something negative, they're always saying, "Hang on, no, that's not right." They do defend them. I remember there being. I mean, I know we're going to maybe chat about content creators at some point, but there's been so many. Of
course we will.
And they do. It's difficult because a lot of them are women, so it does cross a line a little bit of attacking women specifically, because most content creators are women. And I've seen quite a few male videographers jump in and defend them and say, hang on, like you are crossing a line, that it's okay to kind of have this conversation and debate about content creators, but let's not attack the fact that they're women specifically, because that has happened on occasion. So I definitely don't want to be criticizing men in general, because you're all mostly great. It's just a few.
So do you think then the videography industry is more 50-50 than
I don't think it's 50-50.
No.
But there are definitely more women than we're aware of.
There's more women than we are aware of, because a surprising amount messaged us direct that we'd not even heard of or been on the scene, or even in that group. Then weren't even in that group on the Facebook.
What group's that?
On the Facebook group, like they weren't
the big
it.
like UK wedding videographer group.
Yeah. They weren't
and
in
I
that
think
group.
they're not going to kind of like the big conferences and things and socials, because it is daunting. I mean, it's daunting to go to something like that, particularly if you don't know anybody anyway, regardless of your gender. But if you know it is going to be a big group of guys and you're a woman, particularly if you're going by yourself, it is quite daunting, I think, thinking about, because we have different conversations. I mean, at Coda, we had a little group of girls that all crowded around saying, we don't want to talk about what kit we've got, which is a lot of the conversation that goes on with guys. Sorry, but you do like your tech. So yeah, I think if you're a woman going to those events, you might be put off because you think there's not going to be many other females there.
I think going as a solo female is pretty, like, that's quite intimidating, isn't it? Let alone, I mean, I'm sure a lot of guys would feel intimidated, but as a solo female going to a predominantly male event, I think it's general the film industry as a whole, though, Rue, not just wedding videography. I think the film industry is male dominated. I did film at uni, and it was mainly guys. There were a handful of girls. Most of the girls were editors. We were all the video editors. So I think the post-production probably has more female people than production. I'd say camera guys are more common than girls. But, you know, you've got the likes of incredible female directors coming out in the film world. And, you know, it's just making a step, getting yourself out there and having more female voices who are willing to put themselves out there so that other females can see, like, oh, it is possible. We can do it. We don't have to be well into our tech and know our kit back to front to actually do this job.
Because this is what I find really confusing, because for me, like, the whole industry, although there are obviously weddings with no females involved at all, like male weddings, the whole the industry on a whole is targeted towards women. And I would say from a photography point of view, especially now, it's predominantly female photographers. And I'm from my experience, I don't know if it's the market I'm in, it's almost like male photographers are going extinct. I just don't work with them. It just never happens. But why is video so far the other way? Why are those two disciplines so different?
Okay, so a lot of female photographers that I've spoken to are like, I would never attempt to film a wedding. That is far too much pressure. I don't know how you do it. There is too much to think about with audio. I think they get intimidated by the amount of cameras that you've got. If you've got like a 2-camera, 3-camera setup, like, they just think it's a lot harder, possibly, than it is. Or is it really hard? Are we actually just like in a really hard job?
I don't know. Yeah, but potentially. But I think male photographers say that as well. When I speak to male, they say the same thing to me. Like,
right.
But I think they're coming from it from the point of view, they're thinking they have to approach the day the same way, with the same headspace as they do. Because with photography, there's a lot you have to take into consideration. And you're 90% of the day, you're pushing the day along and making sure timelines are happening. You've got to be front facing on the wedding day. With video, we can slink into the back, and the technical stuff is forefront of our mind rather than having to worry about the people stuff. So
that's all the stuff that photographers criticize us for.
Yeah.
They were basically a bit lazy on the day, and we just shoot over their shoulder during the couple shot.
Yeah, but at least now there's content creators to take the slack for us instead. They're getting hit. They're getting the strays. But my one theory I had, like, at one point, I don't know if this counts anymore, but I think video is certainly a lot more gear heavy than photo, isn't it? And blokes are more interested in gear. And I think, like, if you're going to go into something because you want to buy gear, you'd go into video because there's lots of gear that can be bought. Yeah. And maybe it just doesn't interest females as much as blokes do, because they think, drones, sliders, gimbals, all that kind of stuff.
That's it. And when I joined the UK Wedding Videographer group, I remember thinking, blimey, there is so much talk about tech and kit. And it was literally basically just about that. And I was like, what I was really interested in is storytelling, narrative, the edit, how to craft these things, like how other people are doing it, the more of the ethos of stuff, as well as looking at the connection between you and the client, how important that is. So that I can only talk from my personal experience. And as a woman in the industry, I've come into it wanting to tell stories rather than wanting to use the best kit possible to film everything. So maybe we as women come from it from a slightly different angle. And because that's not publicised that much or shouted about so much, then perhaps that's why women don't see it as an avenue. They just see it as filming a wedding, and that's it. You see what I mean? Like, rather than using it as an opportunity to make a beautiful film and tell an amazing story.
Yeah. But I mean, that's implying that blokes just
No, this is
want
it.
to
No,
talk
no,
about
no.
the cameras.
No, because guys are amazing I'm not saying that guys aren't amazing storytellers and filmmakers, but how people get into it. So it's thinking about, what
Like the
is
gateway.
it? Yeah, the gateway. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about what it actually is, because we are in it. We know what it is. But it's people looking from outside, thinking about starting wedding videography, or what's it about?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where I think maybe women get put off.
I think the editing as well is a big thing for women, because it obviously takes a lot longer, especially everything that photographers have got now, all the AI and things that they can use to speed up their editing. And it's just the lifestyle of women, especially like working mums, and how much that we are juggling at the same time. Obviously, a lot of videographers are dads as well, and they're doing that too. But I mean, we've just had a newborn baby, and I'm breastfeeding her. I can't just, I am keeping up with work because, frankly, newborn babies are a bit boring. They don't do a lot, and it sent me a bit mad last time when we had our eldest, and it was COVID, and I wasn't doing any work, so I wanted to keep up a little bit. So I got a bit of editing to do, a couple of weddings. But it's very different to her dad, who can just carry on life fairly normally. Obviously, he's tired, life has changed, we've got two of us, but he can carry on work, whereas I've got that kind of constant feeding throughout the day. And then it just is the way that things work that mums tend to take on. I sort out all the school stuff. I do all the school emails, all the checking she's got homework uniform, all that kind of stuff. And so my brain is full of that. And so editing kind of comes second. Whereas I'd say Jamie maybe puts work first and then kids come second. That sounds awful. Sounds like he's a terrible dad. He's not at all. I just think that's the way society works. It's the way that his across the board in the workplace. And so for photo, it's maybe because that editing isn't so full on that photographers, mums, are thinking that they can fit it around their life a little easier. So
it's a great point, isn't it? Yeah, photo definitely does lend itself to be able to juggle that alongside like really heavy parental responsibilities. And the dynamic in my house is very similar, where Jade does a lot more of the kind of like parenting. Like I'm away weekends shooting weddings, and then she's handling the kids on her own. And obviously she works for the company as well. We work together, but I'm the one going out and doing the shooting and like a big chunk of the editing as well. And it's funny how it plays out like this though, isn't it? In terms of, I think like my generation of dads are very different to my dad's generation, in terms I think we're a lot more hands-on with parental responsibilities, but still Jay definitely has a much stronger connection with my kids than me. And I don't know whether is part of that, I think, is because she's more doing a lot of that, the parenting more herself, because from my weddings and stuff and I'm away, but also I think they just seem to have a stronger connection with mums as well. Like
it's maybe a different connection. I mean, Darcy will come to me for kind of, if she's ill or upset and things. She'll go to Jamie as well, but I have that sort of role where she loves to kind of play with him. It's different in that way. Yeah. I mean, it's also my choice. I want to be involved in their life a lot. It's not as if, Jamie's just left it to me. That's the way it works. But yeah, that does take a lot of my mind up. And I don't know, as with photography as well. I've never done photography. So is it easier to go back into editing, to take a break and go back into it? Whereas with video, when I'm, I do a lot better if I've got a full day to go onto it. Whereas if I've got a few hours, then when I come back to it, I need to see where I was and how the story was going. Yeah.
Like photo's the opposite to that. You could literally drop in and out as you want. And if anything, actually is probably better going in with fresh eyes. And because the one thing with photo editing, it's quite monotonous. Like you're just doing a bit of white balance, doing a bit of cropping, doing a bit of exposure, and it's just you're not having to think really. So it's like breaking away from it is actually helpful. But with video, I feel like we need to get in the zone, don't we, and get big blocks put out there and done. And
but saying that, when you my husband says this all the time, when I've had like a rubbish day of like just not feeling creative at all and nothing's like come to me, and he just goes, well, you can't be creative every single day. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And sometimes it comes to you at night time and you're like, okay, I'm just going to pop upstairs for a minute. And then 3 hours later, you're like, oh, it's okay. I just smashed out highlights. Oh, it just came to me.
But I'm going to massively regret that in the morning.
Yeah. But it's weird, isn't it? Because you try and make this like almost like a 9 to 5. I definitely do. So I try and do it as a 9 to 5, and those are the hours that I can edit in. But then if it doesn't come to you, it doesn't happen. So sometimes it's really frustrating in that way. And then when you're trying to juggle, if you work from home and you're editing at home and the kids are home, and I just go, I'll just pop upstairs. They're just watching TV. I'm going to pop upstairs and do some work. And then my daughter will come up and be like, Mummy, are you coming back down? And I'll be right in the middle of it. I would have got the flow, and I'll be like, I'm coming. And I'll be like, I snapped my daughter. That's awful, isn't it?
It's hard.
That happens because you're so focused on what so this whole time you're trying to do this juggle and shift. And Michael, my husband, is incredible in the sense, like, when we're away and stuff, he's just got it. And so many people say to me, oh, is your husband all right with just, the kids just on his own? And I'm like, what? Why wouldn't he be?
With his children.
He's their dad. It's normally the older ones that, like, grandparents and stuff at weddings say that, don't they? They're like...
Because dads didn't have anything to do with kids back then, really.
Yeah.
Like my dad was down the mine. Like,
What down the mine?
Like, I'm the first generation of the blokes from my family to not work down a pit, and I just fanny about at weddings with a camera. It's mad, isn't it? But that generation is like so different to us now. Like, we are more hands-on, but even still, there's definitely an imbalance. I think it's more kind of the mums taking more of the kind of responsibility, I feel.
In my house, I don't feel like I do enough. I think I've said this on the pod. Like, he does all the dinners, all the cooking. He'll the
do
classic.
That. No.
Right, fine. Well, what are you saying then?
One for me.
What are you saying then? I think you'll be surprised.
That's not parenting.
Ruth.
That's just like cooking is like I feel like the kind of like, I don't know, making sure they're doing their homework and knowing what's going on with the school and things like that. And
the bloody WhatsApp, parents' WhatsApp.
Right. No, I refuse to stay.
You're not in it. You're not in it, you see. So maybe that is a thing. Yeah. We're in the WhatsApp group.
Jamie is in the WhatsApp group, but he tends to just put a few little comical comments in there from time to time.
It's mental.
Puts in a video of him doing a magic trick. Jamie's a magician, just for context. But Becky K, so kind of, cause I want to keep on this, like the kind of like the parenting section for a bit, because I do always find this really interesting, because people don't really talk about the whole parenting side of this job. No. Too busy talking about cameras with blokes.
Cameras. Size of your lens.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's not talk about your microphone, Becky.
Oh my God, I'm not showing it.
So like summer holidays, right, Becky K? So how would that play out in terms of working from home, trying to get edits done, and the kids are home from school? Like for me, I've got like an office in my garden where I can go out to and I can work there. How does that happen for people that have got like a partner who is also working as well? Mm-hmm. That how does that play out? I just can't imagine.
We're really lucky in the sense of we're able to split summers over a mix of the holiday camps, so clubs that are near us, and also my husband. We assume my job is a normal job and I have X amount of holiday. I don't amount of holiday it, but we go, right, I'll take a day off here. He'll take a day off there, and we'll split the rest between holiday clubs and there. And then I try and keep 2 weekends off in August in a row to have a holiday. So we'll go away for like a week or 2 weeks.
And have you actually managed to achieve that? Because that's one of those things that people say they're going to do, but don't.
Last year, we did the whole month of August off.
Wow.
So I didn't take any bookings for August, other than the French. I did one in France, because we were in France, and they asked. Good. And I said, oh, well, I'm in France anyway, why not?
The stars aligned, so it had to be done.
So that's what we did. So I just do that. I keep pretty strict on when I can and can't take weddings. For example, I won't take any bookings over my son's or my daughter's birthday weekends, or my birthday. I tend not to do it on my birthday. And my husband's birthday. Sure.
Oh, even him?
Do you know what I mean?
Our birthdays are complete. Jamie said today, I've had an inquiry for your birthday. I was like, yeah, fine, whatever.
I'm just like, yeah, I just like, I look at the calendar and I block it off and I stick to it.
So you set boundaries, like, and you're quite
Yeah.
good at keeping to those boundaries in terms of blocking out time.
It's worked
and-
so far.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think it
Because
does. It also depends on your situation, though, because
Yeah. Not
we
all
don't take
people
that
do
many
that.
weddings, do we? The two of us, so we're
That's
both
right.
taking kind of 20, or you do a bit less, don't you, Becky?
A bit less.
So if you're trying to, like, how many do you do, Rue? A lot more than that, I'm guessing.
75.
30 is my sweet spot, but it usually
Yeah.
creeps over.
But then it's
Yeah.
hard to then block out specific weekends if you know you've got to book 30 in or more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with like the current situation where people are finding bookings are low, inquiries are low, really
Yeah.
tempting to just say yes to everything. But to take the whole of August off is that's really cool, because a lot of
That's
people
awesome.
don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mental, wasn't it?
But then,
And then,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, because Becky T, because like your situation is different as well, isn't it? Because Jamie's a magician who works weddings as well, so it's almost like having two of you in the same industry.
Yeah.
Heavy weekend work.
Yeah.
What does a magician do during the week?
I mean, honestly, I have no idea. He seems very busy.
There's rabbits everywhere.
But I mean, it's different to him because he again is doing a lot more jobs than I'm doing, because obviously he doesn't just do weddings, he does kids entertainment as well. So his volumes of jobs that he's doing is a lot higher. So therefore he has a lot more inquiries. So there is a lot more admin on that side of things than I have. So that takes up a lot of his week. It's difficult because we both work weekends, but we're really lucky that we both have both of our parents live very, very locally. So it's just shared with that. Obviously now we've got a second one, whether that's going to be a bit more pressure to ask them for so much childcare. And also it was our eldest's first summer holiday this year, but I was not working weddings because I was pregnant. So really it'll be next year to see how that goes with trying to work out the summer holidays and things. But
I think with this job as well, like when you work for yourself, when you're self-employed, you basically just have to evolve with it as your life evolves, and you have to somehow make the business work around you. And it's interesting that you got, like, I think we've got three different circumstances here, like for our lives. Because for me, the business is that's me and Jade only have that one income. We only have the business, and we both work for that business. So it's like we've not got a separate income coming in. So it's always a case of, and one of us has to be looking after the kids as well, because we don't have much support from our parents. So it's kind of like trying to negotiate it. Hi, it's Rue here. Just interrupting the podcast to tell you about the Coda membership. The Coda membership is for filmmakers who want to level up their work and join a supportive community. You get access to an ever-growing library of online masterclasses by some of the UK's best wedding filmmakers. We currently have Lawson Films showing us how to master capturing speeches, Philip White breaking down how he manages to capture detail shots in his unique style, Christopher James talking you through how to craft impactful film scores, and PS Visuals breaking down the Instagram ads technique that got him 1,000 inquiries and 120 bookings in a single year. On top of that, you'll also get free access to our Coda workshops that are taking place up and down the country. These are hands-on days where we share, critique and improve our work together. You get online access to all of our conference talks, and if you've been struggling to get a hold of tickets to our sellout conferences, with the membership you now get first dibs. So come and join us, so together we can learn, grow and connect. Visit coda-conference.com or click the link in the description below. Okay, content creators, and this is something that people are talking about a lot at the minute. But what I find, I feel I'm repeating myself, I've said this so many times in podcasts, but what I find really interesting about content creators is that they are predominantly female. And even though content creation is photo and video, I think it's still predominantly video, right? So I think we're going to see the next influx of videographers via content creation.
Yeah.
And it's going to be female, like a big influx of female videographers.
That's amazing. I didn't even think of that.
so they're starting as content creators and then becoming videographers. Is that what you mean?
Because I just think, well, let's be honest, right? Content creators are just cheap videographers. They just rebranded themselves. That's exactly what they are.
No, I don't.
Well, I don't think that's what they started out as. But maybe
no.
that's what they're becoming.
And it's difficult, isn't it? Because they're all different.
Yes.
So
yeah,
they're
that's
all
the thing.
different.
There's no
Yeah.
different, like with us, with video, even though we have different packages with videographers and we're delivering films with audio kind
Yes.
of, but content creators, some of them do just TikToks, some of them just do like,
Yeah,
Pure raw
so I've
footage.
only worked, again, just from my experience, because you can only talk from your experience, guys. And that is that I've only worked with one content creator here on Jersey, and her main focus was behind the scenes. So
Oh.
she didn't care if you were in her shot, because she was like, no, I'm filming the whole thing from behind the scenes, which made sense, because then there was a whole different perspective on the day,
Yeah.
which I quite liked. I mean, I
That's
what
what
they
I
sell
always thought
themselves
it was
as.
supposed to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
but I don't think it is. Like,
I don't think
what
it
are
is
they
that.
marketing themselves with? They're not marketing themselves with behind the scenes stuff. They're marketing themselves with highlight films. Because that's what I'm just seeing from them is like I love the idea. I was like, okay, so it's going to be behind the scenes footage of capturing those bits that we don't capture, kind of a bit like more raw stuff.
Yeah.
But then I see everything that's been put out by them, and it is just highlight films, and which is sound. But I think if I was a content creator, bit by bit, I'd be thinking, I'd just be adding little layers to it, thinking, do you know, as you're naturally doing something, you just want to improve, don't you? And you're like, I want to add a bit of audio in, I want to start miking people up, maybe I want to get a bit of drone in, get some drone footage, and bit by bit I'd just become a videographer. And I think that's exactly what they will do.
Big difference of content creators is the fact that they seem to supply all the footage straight away. So
Yeah.
all the raw footage comes within 3 days of what they've shot.
Yeah, quite often the next day.
And that footage, just a heads up, includes all the audio that they've recorded. So if they're stood next to you and you're talking to the photographer and they're filming, just be aware, guys.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's in it.
Because I am mental sometimes on a shoot, on a wedding. Yeah, like hyping up the bride
Really?
and groom.
Can't imagine it.
Hyping them up, and then suddenly I'm like, oh no, that's going to be recorded forever.
Yeah, because they're not going through, like when I deliver raw footage, I go through that with a fine tooth comb to like make sure
Yeah.
that.
Well, that's
because
what
sometimes
puts me off
photographers say
giving it.
stuff to you.
Yeah.
But people say things to you, don't they? And sometimes it's not actually anything bad.
No.
But it might also be stuff that the couple don't necessarily need to. It can take the shine off their wet day a little bit when you can hear them go, right, we need to make sure we're here at this point and get the bride and groom and make sure they don't go to the guests so we can get them out for the bit. Little things like that you don't want them
I
to
literally
hear.
have my head over my drone operator's shoulder going, that's fucking amazing! Oh, that's such a good shot! Oh, you're brilliant! Oh, I love you, Mark, you're brilliant!
I think that's okay, though. That's okay.
Oh, it's just
But they're literally going to just hand all that stuff over, aren't they? So
Yeah.
yeah, and that's what worrying thing, because that's what I thought when I worked with a content creator. I was like, this is almost like having CCTV around all the time as well. Like, but I actually had the day after the wedding, I had like that I worked with a content creator. I had a really nice message from the bride, and I think it must be because she'd looked at that raw footage and she actually realised all the different things I had done throughout the day to make certain things work.
okay.
And I think, but it could definitely go the other way as well.
Yeah. No, but that is cool though, isn't it?
Do you know when sometimes right in the background, you see yourself in the background of one of your wide shots or something, and it might just be a concentration phase, but you look miserable because like you're focusing, you're thinking, I don't want them to see this because they could take that the wrong way, even though I am literally just concentrating.
Yeah.
But with a content creation, like everything's out there for them to see.
Smile all the
Well,
time.
I worry that I'd be doing nothing because when I first started doing this, I don't know if I used to shoot every single second of the day, like constantly, and I just don't think that I overshoot now. But I have learned that there's certain times where you don't need to be shooting everything. So I worry that they would have a clip of me just in the background, just staring,
waiting.
Scoffing on a canapé.
Yeah,
Waiting for
yeah.
something.
We're just like going past a sweet table, and I'll have
Yeah.
that. Thanks.
How
You got the drone shot going over the guests, and you can see the photographer on their phone.
Yeah.
Guys, how soon is it before you can eat a canapé? How soon is too soon?
Well,
In the
not the
day.
first round, but like the second one.
What is
I find it depends on the venue. Like if it's a venue I work at a lot, I'm just bring me the canapes.
What if you get offered a canapé?
Oh,
at
100%.
the first
If you
round?
get offered
Just
one,
go.
you take two.
Go in.
Because
Okay.
all bets are off then.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know, because I feel like the first round, they kind of like, they're almost trying not to make eye contact with you because they don't want to have to bring one over to you. And also you can read, I've shot weddings where I know I'm not allowed a canapé. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The vibes are there
You
that
are the
I'm not allowed a
staff.
canapé.
You'll
Yeah,
help.
100%. Yeah. So you read
But
that
you
room,
can
don't
just
you?
go, oh, can you just wait a minute? I'll just get a shot of that. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
it's never
shot
going to
of
make
it.
it in the
Oh,
film, but
There's a camera in my mouth.
Get a shot of it, and oh, would I like one? Yes, I would. Thanks.
While you're here, and then you're stuck with a random cocktail stick you don't know what to do with.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just chop
A few of those appear in my pockets.
God, we're hitting all the heavy subjects today, aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah. Bang on.
But do you guys see content creation as a threat to video at all?
I think that we have been so lucky in the past that, I mean, photographers are the 99% of weddings, they're booking a photographer. Then we're kind of the next thing to that. A lot more people in recent years have had a videographer as well. There's no direct competition with that. I mean, Jamie being a magician, he's not just competing with other magicians, he's competing with any kind of entertainment on the day.
Yeah.
And there's constantly new entertainment that is cheaper than him, you know, and so, he can't try and like directly compete with, say, an acoustic duo or something. He can't sing, he can't provide anything of their sort of services. And so I don't think we need to be trying to provide what content creators are providing. People are saying, oh, we need to get our content out quicker, we need to be doing more kind of behind the scenes stuff, more fun stuff, more social media. Do we, or do we just need to be focusing on what we deliver, try and ignore the content creators almost, and just be selling trying to get couples to buy what we sell? I mean, is it people are receiving emails saying, sorry, we've decided to go with a content creator instead? Is that any different than them saying, sorry, we've decided to go with a different videographer?
Because of the offering.
Same.
Yeah.
It's the same. Yeah. It's just, instead of competing with each other, we're now competing with this different kind of version of a videographer. And we're all just a bit too panicked about it, I think. And I think a lot of content creators won't make it into videography because it's a lot more work. I mean, are they delivering those highlight videos within 3 days as well? Those ones that look more like what we do? How?
Well, if they're
going to burn
not,
out, surely.
What's the difference? Yeah.
And at the price that they're doing it as well, they must be doing so many. I don't know how it's physically possible to keep that up. It'd be great to do for a couple of years, to ride on and think like, this is amazing, I found a perfect place in the market, it's really popular. But I think you'd burn out.
People need to not just react to the rise of content creators in thinking that now you have to offer a similar offering to content creators to compete. Rather than reacting, you need to respond. And responding is focusing on what you do and maybe looking at your packages in a different way, making them more valuable along your ethos and your offering, rather than going, I'm going to offer shorter films and reels and this, that and the other. If you don't do that already and you don't want to do it, don't feel like you have to do it. At the end of the day, we're in this job because we get full control over our ship. I call it our ship. You are the captain of your ship and you need to do what you want to do with your business. Don't feel pressured by other things coming in and thinking, oh shit, I need to change everything now because people want different stuff. People are still going to want what you do. You just need to believe in it.
If they want that stuff that content creators are doing, they'll book a content creator.
They'll go get it.
So they won't book a videographer that's trying to be a content creator.
No.
Trying to deliver more like what they're going to deliver. I don't know. But it's also very easy to say, I feel like my bookings are okay. I'm taking less next year anyway because I've got a new baby. If you're struggling and you're not getting the bookings, I can see why it will be a panic.
I always think you need to look at the market and how the market is shifting. Because when I came in as a photographer, I was on the back end of not long, the shift over to digital, and you still had the old school photographers that were shooting film and hadn't made the shift to digital because I think they didn't change their business models, and they all died out. And everyone went more that kind of documentary style, and because digital cameras, you could shoot as many shots as you wanted. The whole style of photography changed, and then it shifted again when the editorial style came in, because you got a generation of brides that are used to having their photo taken, so they don't necessarily want a documentary because they know how they like to be photographed. They want to be photographed in a more stylized way. So I've seen that market change, and I've seen the photographers that didn't move with the times start to struggle. And I think this is a shift for us in terms of there's elements of content creation which we maybe need to take clues from. I think the value that we can offer is our longer films are always going to be so incredibly valuable.
Yeah.
And even though the shift of mentality now is going towards like snappier, shorter, faster, made for social consumption. We can still create that, but then we have our masterpiece, which is our longer film, which are going to grow in value year on year on year, as we know, as your life changes, evolves from the wedding. A wedding is just the real start of a chapter of your life, isn't it? So much more interesting and exciting stuff happens after your wedding. They say the wedding's your best day of your life, but is it? It's not. It's the best day from that point. Your whole life shifts then. If you start maybe having families and things like that, there's so many more better days. And those films, those long films that we can provide, are going to give so much value for that section of people's life. But I think there's certain things that we have to maybe look at now to try and help compete with them. Like we could offer raw footage, our raw footage is going to be the same as their behind the scenes stuff,
it won't
but
be
better.
It won't be in portrait, will it? And that's what they seem to want. That's what someone is booking a content creator for, is that, in my opinion, you're putting a lot of value on social media and how you want to view your films, which is on your phone.
Yeah.
I'm going to send them the raw footage, not through their phone. And then how they're going to get that on their phone. And
I agree with you with, like, you can kind of change it up by offering, say, the shorter form alongside your longer form. But I don't think people then should feel like they have to go down and do a whole separate content creation package, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, so that we don't need to become content creators and like doing exactly what they're doing, but you can just like taking clues from it, isn't it?
I don't know how, because I live in a bubble, don't I, guys? I live on a fucking island in the Channel Island that like has one content creator, and I'm so blessed to be where I am. So I kind of see stuff. I do weddings on the mainland, but I kind of see stuff step back, and I have that kind of safety net. So I personally haven't yet felt the threat of content creators, whereas I know obviously people are getting really worried about it and concerned and finding it a threat on their business. Is it if you're a certain price point you are particularly finding it a threat because you're a similar price point to content creators? Is this then a shout to say, hey, why don't you try raising your prices, guys? You're worth it, go for it, why not? Give it a go, see what happens, because then you go on a different market, then perhaps values different things and sees value in both and can afford both.
Yeah, but I don't think people should be having a videographer and a content creator together. I think it's just waste of time. I think choose one or the other.
Well, when you were saying, Rue, about our longer films being the value that we offer, what's difficult with that is they're really hard to sell. I mean, are you sending people examples of your longer films? I will
if they ask.
If they ask, yeah. But I just presume they're not going to watch them if I was going to just... Do you do it, Becky? You obviously send them...
I just made a booking today that I nearly lost, and they hadn't seen any features, and they said, okay, we're going to think about it. And then I said, oh, by the way, I've neglected to send you this, because I kind of had a feeling that they would be keen to watch it, and I sent them my 25 half an hour feature film of a wedding, and they went, we've watched the film and we've decided we really like it and really want to book you. I've not done that before, but I don't
that's what we need to be doing when we get our inquiries, is sending those as well, because I've definitely had people that have asked and then when they've watched it they've then booked. So because if our highlights are similar to what content creators are sending, then we need to show them what else we're giving them and doing that.
I have found it, like, if I've ever had a couple buy the raw footage off me, whenever I catch up with them and I see them like at another wedding or whatever, it's the raw footage that they always talk about.
Yeah, I heard you say
the thing that I just slapped together in a couple of minutes. Then they go, oh, I love that. And they will tell me about little stories that they've found in that raw footage that I probably wasn't aware of. And it'd be like the groomsmen in the morning looking completely confused because they didn't know what they were supposed to be doing. And like, they love that stuff. They know the little stories that are going on, but it's stuff that wouldn't make it into an edit because it just looks like people looking confused to me.
It's depressing though, isn't it? Like, you spend all that time crafting a perfect film and then they're like, yeah, we just wanted the raw footage.
I've never given the raw, I've never done raw footage, you know.
No, it's man, it's kind of eye-opening, but I think that's my theory is we need to be looking at, I think the highlight film, the 3 to 5 minute highlight film, is completely redundant in the market now.
Can we just say 7 to 9? Thanks.
Seven to 9. For me, that's like my longest films. But I think but 3 to 5 is redundant, I think, because before, I think the 3 to 5 are what you'd put on your website. That's what you market to people because it's short and snappy. But now that's too long. That's too long for people, but not long enough for value as well. So like a 60-second teaser and then a long film is, I reckon that's the perfect package to this current market.
Are your clients still really happy though?
Yeah. Well, I mean, but it doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter what my couples now are saying about my work, because I'm not selling to them anymore.
No,
I'm selling to a whole new batch. I need to be looking 2-3 years down the line for the next generation of people, how they consume their content now, so I can sell to them for when they're going to have their weddings. And I don't think the generations coming through have got time. It just makes, from my point of view, from a business point of view as well, it makes no sense for me to be making 3 to 5 minute films, because I was only making them mainly for my own promotion.
Yeah.
I might as well be making a teaser trailer, which can be put out there, get me work quite easily, and then provide a longer film. It's easier edit, just doing a short, really super 60-second and a long one. That's easier editing time. And I think that's the way to move forward in the markets that are coming through.
I make these films for the couples now, but I also make the films and imagine them watching it in 10 years' time. And in 10 years' time, who's to say how they're going to be able to watch it? But I don't know. I think they would appreciate a longer form at that point. Don't you think? I don't know. It's hard to.
But that's why I was saying. I think the longer forms will be here to stay, because that is your legacy value.
Yeah.
But the 3 to 5 minute film has always been the promotional piece. So if you, like me, deliver 3 to 5 minute and then a 10 minute, there's no point in that 3 to 5. That might as well be shortened down to a 60-second, because you'll be able to use it for promotion. They all like it. They'd prefer it because they can share it with family and friends. It's a lot more easy to share. But then they can sit down with that longer film and have that to have increased value down the years.
See, my offering is...
I don't know, you're crying at a 60-second.
But I don't think you need to. You cry at the long film.
Yeah, I don't know, though, because who's watching the long films? Because
they are the couple.
The couple are, but do you need to be making some other people cry as well?
To say that.
Hear me out. So I have my 60-second teaser that I've always done ever since I've ever started filming weddings, and that comes out like a few days after. And then they've got the 3 to 5 minute and the long form ones that come later. But I don't think that they're sharing with friends this long form one. They're only sharing the 3 to 5 minute one. And I still can hit those friends at that point to book me, the engaged people.
Yeah.
So I still think that short, medium one has still got value.
Yeah. That's kind of like the shareable amongst the closer group of friends, rather than actually online or whatever.
Yeah, and that 60 seconds has got to be quick, surely. We can't be giving a 60 seconds at the same time as we're giving a long form one, are we?
But without sitting here and looking at all our different offerings, like an example of each, it's hard to say, because I think we can get hung up on how long a film is and how long, but if we're not talking about like the purpose of the film and actually the draw of the film and what it's covering and how you're approaching it with its narrative structure, then that's where, what are you doing in which film? Because I don't think it actually matters necessarily how long it is. I'd messaged Becky the other day and I said, I think my teasers are most people's highlights, and I think my highlights are most people's features.
But that's what I find with doing these podcasts. Like, everyone has a similar naming structure, but what those things are
so different,
are wildly different. Yeah,
so different.
But if you were going to receive your wedding film now, right? Do you need 3 versions of that film? Do you need a 60-second? Do you need a 3? That's why. And I'm thinking this almost selfishly as well. I'm there making like a long film, like, I'm really happy with that. Then I break it down to make my 3 minute. I'm thinking, well, I'm just making the same film, but a little bit shitter, because it's not got.
Well, how I approach it is that. So the purpose of the teaser are for those people that don't want to wait my ridiculous lead times, which is 5 to 6 months. So they get that within 3 weeks. So that's the purpose of that. And then
what's that? 60 seconds?
Up to 2 minutes.
Right. Okay.
So that's up to 2 minutes.
In landscape.
Yeah. I don't do vertical there.
Yeah.
I'm no Russell Kent Nichols. And then the highlights is 7 to, I've done a 9 minute, and that is a non-linear cut, as most people, that's what's out on social media and stuff and promoted as my film. So that's non-linear, and it's like the moment led rather than the run of the day led. The feature is actually linear and longer, and has long form of like talking in it, really documentary style, but still cut in a way that it's like a half-hour nice length, so watchable length. So then they watch that. They're two very different films. So I feel like if they had half an hour on an anniversary, they sit down and watch that. Whereas if they wanted to like just, you know, have a cuddle for 10 minutes and relive the day, then they watch the other one.
And I guess it depends on how you shoot as well, because I know I can imagine like that your shooting style. It's similar to like with Catherine, who had on the podcast, where she like holds for moments as well, and she's not necessarily looking for like. Whereas I went into video from a photographer's point of view, where I want every frame to be like a picture. And I want a lot of them. Whereas other filmmakers were looking for a bit more soul. I know you're looking for a bit more feeling in your work, Becky K. So I imagine you're holding shots longer, waiting for moments, waiting for audio bits.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot more value that you could have in those longer films than maybe me. For like my films are almost like I'm just recreating the same film because I've not got any extra longer bits to put in. But maybe depending on how people shoot, maybe there are more value in different formats.
Exactly, which is why it's hard to compare. You can't compare each other really. We're all so different.
And how often do you have a call with a client, you know, the last call that you do just before the wedding, and they go, and what do we actually get?
Oh my God, yes.
Do they care what they're booking? They're watching videos, they like your style, but do they actually know what they're getting? I don't think they do, which is why I think it is less pressure than a photographer, because they know they're getting this many photos and they've got these group shots. Whereas with us, it's they're just going to get what they're going to get.
I think with some videographers, they do ask them. They will know. Like, people get obsessed with their videographers, don't they? Like some like the higher end, like incredible.
I think most of my couples don't really know.
Neither mine. But
I only offer because my packages, like they can have the speeches and ceremony come with no matter what, but separate. But they could have like a 3 to 5 minute film, or they could have a 3 to 5 minute and a 10 minute. But I reckon I could easily on that longer package get rid of the 3 to 5, and they probably okay. I think they're only picking that second package because they want the longer film.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm thinking maybe that could all be stripped out. And I was thinking, how can I make my life easier? Especially at this point of the year when the edit queue is just like absolutely stacked. And you're thinking, I'm going to have to make 2 films for everybody. Like, how can we? Because I have that they always ask me, so what have we booked again? I'm thinking, bloody hell, you're spending a fortune here. How do you not know? Yeah. As like I know on your podcast there's the it's all from a female perspective, obviously being female, but now we have both female and male in this conversation. Maybe there's a few different categories that we can talk about, some little elements of wedding day to get the kind of like the different experiences that we have. And what do you think? Let's start with the beginning of the wedding day, because I think like the massive benefit of a female videographer has got to be bridal prep, right? There's I mean, you guys wouldn't have experienced it being a male, but I guess you get to see a male photographer working in bridal prep on the wedding day. Do you think it is an advantage being a female at that part of the morning and any other parts of the day as well?
Yeah, I feel like you have, for me anyway, I've experienced where I've kind of felt a really strong connection to the bride in that morning, because you're there at such a special time and you kind of are able, she's really relaxed around you in terms of when she's putting the dress on and things like that. It's okay to be in the room from quite early on and just be like, it's all right, I'm just going to turn my back. Whereas if there was a guy there, it's, you know, you would feel very awkward. You'd want to probably be out of the room. You know, you say, oh, just let me know when you're decent, like that. And then quite often they'll go, it's okay. People have seen it all before. Ha 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 ha. And you're like, yeah, fine. And it's fine. But then for the rest of the day, you feel like you've shared something on like as being woman to woman. I don't know. I just have. So yeah, that's
because usually when they put the dress on, there's only like one other person. They'll maybe be the mum and you and the photographer, and if it's a male photographer, then maybe they've stepped out for a second. But it depends on the personality of both of the man and the bridal party as well, doesn't it? I mean, some girls are just like, yeah, whatever. They don't care.
Yeah, I think because I feel like I'm not. I basically turn into like a weird chameleon on the wedding day. Like, I think when we've spoken before, I'm a very different person in bridal prep as I am in groom prep, and I basically just turn myself into the person I need to be to make people feel comfortable in that environment.
Yeah.
So, but do you guys find groom prep a struggle being female, or is it just no different to bridal prep?
I've not. Have you, Becky?
It's definitely different to bridal prep. I would say that I, in the same way as you, Rue, maybe put on like a different kind of persona in the two environments. I would talk to men differently about how you're feeling about the day maybe than I would with the bride.
In what way?
I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to ask him if he's got a change of suit later on in the day, or I'm going to ask him if has he had a beer yet, or I don't know.
Or where did he get his
I feel
bag?
like I might go into lad mode a little bit in the groom prep.
Yeah.
Where I was, I don't know.
It's like, where'd you get that bag from? Oh, I love your shoes.
That kind of stuff. Oh, I love the shoes. I'm never saying to the groom, God, you love your shoes.
Or like, where are your shoes? Let me show you shoes. Oh, where's your suit? Where is it?
How
Let me
long
see
did it? How many suits did you try on until you found
I
one?
loved it.
Yeah.
I love that. Do you know what,
Maybe
though?
we should be doing that conversation more with the guys.
No.
Like, maybe we should... No?
No. Do you know what, though? Saying that, I feel like I mainly do bride prep because a lot of the time I've got a second shooter and I always send them to the
So you're not often...
groom prep. So I'm not... But it is normally my really good friend Ruwani, and she loves it, but she is amazing with guys. And I say she's great with buttonholes as well as the camera. And they go, oh, thank God, that's great.
Bumholes. Buttonholes.
Calm down, Lou.
I do think groomsmen maybe are slightly less relaxed when a woman comes into the room than they are if it's
Do you think?
a male. Yeah, I think so. Especially if they're kind of like, I don't know, men often apologise for swearing in front of me, I find.
Really?
That's my personality, yeah.
Oh, they don't with
I mean,
me.
not just like your average swear word, but if they're very sweary.
She looks like she can't handle a swear word. That quiet girl in the corner.
Yeah, no, not, yeah.
Because I've honestly not even thought about that because I'm working
No.
with predominantly female photographers, and I think the blokes are just awkward and don't know what to do in the morning, no matter what. Whether it's
Well, maybe,
There's less, but there is
maybe it's
less
nothing
to
to do with
do.
me.
There's less to do
and there's
for guys.
less intimate stuff as well,
Yeah.
where like putting on a wedding dress, which is this bespoke dress which has been made for you, and it's like, I don't know, from a girl's perspective, I'm made to believe that kind of a wedding dress is something that from a young age girls are kind of almost made to think about. Is that
Yeah.
a fair thing to say?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
for everyone, but is
Yeah.
that right?
So,
Yeah, of
do you
course not for
know,
everyone, but yeah.
I came to this realisation the other day why I'm a wedding videographer. It's because I'm trying to relive my wedding day vicariously for the last...
Oh, really?
Well, how many videographers or anyone in the wedding industry go into it after they get married? Because that's so
Yes,
often the
me.
story. Like, we got married. Yeah, that was ours. I handed my notice in at work like a month after we got married.
Yeah.
You're like, I want to live that kind of moment over and over
All the
again.
time.
Again.
Yeah,
Because
it's
it's
true.
amazing. And the dress thing is a big thing, you know?
Yeah. And that's an intimate thing. The blokes don't have any of those like kind of emotional touch points,
No,
really. For groom prep, it's like, all right, we're going to struggle to put a tie on for a little bit, and then we're going to go to the bar and greet guests. The bride, it's like, you're going to get into this dress that just took you a long time to choose.
What I have enjoyed is when the groom does an activity in the morning.
Yeah.
So quite often here on Jersey, the guys will go for a swim in the sea, or they'll do a round of golf, or they'll do something in the morning. And I love to get that if I can. And that's when you feel really relaxed. And they're relaxed around you and stuff then. And it's not like the awkward, or now I'm starting to feel nervous getting this suit on kind of vibe. That's what I've really liked with the guys.
Yeah. Because there's only so like the things I'll talk about this all up, but they kind of like the existential crisis I have when I'm filming someone having makeup put on. I go, what the hell am I doing? I have the same when I get a groom putting a tie on with no mirror. Like, no, don't do it by the mirror. I need you in the
Do
good
it by the
light.
window.
Struggle over there, would ya? And like again, it's like, what am I doing? But then when you can get them doing an activity where they're actually something they will remember from the day and they're having fun to be able to film, it makes so much more sense, doesn't it? But then you have to orchestrate it because blokes don't really want to do anything on the
No,
wedding
they do.
morning.
Well, I don't know. I've done a few. Lots of them. I've had pier jumping, golf, sea swim. That's it.
There you go. Of all the weddings you shot, there's 3.
Not 3 times, 3 activities.
3 times.
But yeah.
But you turn up to groom prep and they go, right, what do you want us to do?
Yeah, what do you want
Whereas
us to
you turn up
do?
to bride prep and they just do what they're doing.
Yeah.
There's none of that kind of...
Yeah.
Do you ever feel a bit creepy, Roo? Because like you're obviously trying to be really not too intrusive, but then also you just like the guy in the corner with the camera.
No, I'm worried. I'm getting creepier and creepier as I get older, and the not that I'm acting creepy, but that just the consideration of a creepy guy. And I think being bold as well. I don't know why. I think being bold adds an extra level of creepiness. If there's ever a problematic guy in the media, he's generally bold. And
oh my God.
I think But what I do when I first turn up to bridal prep is I just get chatting, and then rather than have the camera on, I go around and I chat to the bridesmaids, because with every step of bridal prep, it gets a little bit more intimate, doesn't it? Like dresses go on and stuff, and like they've got the dress on, and maybe as a bridesmaid you've been forced to wear this dress. Maybe you're not feeling 100% confident in it. If you then got some guy pointing a camera at you, I imagine that's going to feel a bit uncomfortable. So I really go out of my way to basically just crack jokes with people in the morning, and kind of like get them comfortable with being there, and really just embedding myself in. So when it comes to those more intimate bits, they're not that worried about me being there. But I don't feel creepy yet. But I don't think creepy people feel creepy. You know what I mean?
You're probably right. Yeah. You have to have the right jokes as well. I've worked with some male photographers that come out with weird stuff, and like, don't draw attention to anything. I worked with a photographer once where we were doing the dress, and she'd asked us both to come in. She was pretty decent, but there was a bit of bum on show, and he drew attention to it and tried to make a joke out of it. I was like, just don't say anything. She doesn't know it's out. So, I mean, she's an absolutely beautiful girl that no one is not. She wouldn't be worried about it, but just don't say it. Why are you saying it? Just don't mention it. You don't need to shoot. Obviously, you're not going to shoot it, so just ignore it.
Rule number 1: don't talk about the bum.
Yeah,
don't talk about the bum.
Don't draw. Yeah, just.
I've heard stuff like that as well, and like jokes like when people laugh, but then you see them afterwards, they're like, "What the hell?
Yeah,
what are you saying in these moments?" Like, yeah.
And we've all done it. We've all said stupid stuff that we immediately think, "Oh my god, why have I said that?" And that's fine. It's okay to make mistakes, but if you're intentionally trying to make these kind of crass jokes, just
it's okay to ask when Dad's coming to see you when he's dead by accident.
Oh,
but it's not. But don't be mentioning the boobs and the bums.
Oh my god!
Have you not done that?
Rude.
Have you not done that?
Have you done that?
Every wedding, at least.
Every wedding?
No, obviously not. Yeah,
I've shouted for the parents of the groom during a full wedding group shot.
Yeah.
Where's the parents of the groom? Can we get the parents of the groom? It's only mum. So it wasn't direct, but it was a bit like they were going, she's here. She's here. I'm like, okay.
In the thick of the wedding season, though, where you can't remember bride and groom's names anymore because you're doing so many back-to-backs and you start getting your weddings confused, it's easy to forget about the dynamics, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
But I usually go now with like, so who's walking you down the aisle?
Yeah.
Just so I can get I get that medical right, and I go, and will he be coming to see you in the dress before? So,
and that's it though. The reveal is another thing that happens with the bride, and not the groom.
Yeah,
Which,
I have done a couple recently where the groom has done a reveal to his mum. It's been brilliant.
Oh, that's
amazing!
Really
yeah, I always think that. Oh, that's lovely.
That moment happens organically at some point, but we're usually not there for it.
Yeah.
So maybe he meets his mum at the church or whatever, and that is always really nice. But you're usually not. You're not there by that point, so it'd be nice if it was actually made into a moment.
I think there's so many isn't it weird that we're kind of like working in tandem with a photographer, where it might be good for us to be somewhere where they're not.
I was literally, that is so weird, because I was talking about that today, and I was saying to my friend who's a photographer, I said, I'm more and more starting to just drop back a bit and think about, even in like the couple shots and stuff, when you're with the photographer, get a few shots, then leave the photographer do it and just go and capture something else. And this whole like thing of you go into it thinking, I've got to get what the photographer's getting, whereas they're two completely different things, and they've booked you for a completely different reason to the photographer. So I was talking about that today, just to try and like think about things a little bit more differently.
I've been trying to, let's break that down real quick, just fastly. Where can we be somewhere different and capture something different? Group shots is one where it's good to go cycle around and maybe get guests, isn't it? Yeah. But then at the same time, all the important people are going to be near where the group shots are happening. And
but just turn round. So film the reactions, and also with the group shots, you do get in between moments that are really nice of people kind of hugging for the first time and stuff, which is really special. But like for the couple, like, do we need to go on the whole couple shoot, a couple portrait? Not. You know,
depends what the photographer is like. If it's some photographers just bash it out really quick, but some of them go forever. And I always feel like I should be there, and then I'm like, oh god, I can hear stuff going on over there. That would be really good to do. And then I guess that's the value of having a second shooter as well.
But that's another thing. Second shooters. Why have photographers got second shooters? We need them. Book a second shooter for a video, and you'll get so much more value. Photographers don't need
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
100%.
Again, depends on the wedding.
Yeah, but if you're gonna, but what do a photographer need a second person for other than to get groom prep?
Green prep.
Well,
a
you'd
bit more kind of like candid stuff, I guess, where one of them's doing group shots.
Yeah,
If it's a
if they're
really
doing-
intense day where everything's really close together and they've only got a certain amount of time to do group shots, they can sometimes get like barely any candid.
It's just more coverage, isn't it? It doesn't make too much sense when if you've got a second and your second's in the same place as you, getting the same stuff.
Oh, I hate
was
that
like,
when
can
you
you
go
go
on a couple
away?
shoot and they've got their second shooter with them. Like, why?
No,
is
no,
two
they should be with the
photographers-
guests.
Why? Yeah, that drives me nuts. But isn't it frustrating where you stay for a dad reveal and nothing happens? It's really shit, and he's not emotional at all. And you could have been at the ceremony getting everyone arrive, because I always think that's really nice if you can get to that, because the bride doesn't see any of that. But that's almost impossible to do both on your own.
I always see that kind of written in. Do you know when I put the list of on my questionnaire, I say what kind of shots are important to you, like things to capture, and there's usually the normal stuff that you're going to get, but quite often they also say like, oh, guests arriving and reactions during speeches. I'm thinking that's two things I don't capture.
Yeah, reaction during speeches. So with my second shoot that I had in Oxford, he was like, I've set up the other angle for you. I'm going to go and get a reaction shot. And I hadn't even done that yet ever. I was like, okay, cool. This is awesome. So the guy that I'm having this weekend, I've said, can you just set up a tripod and then go and do reactions for me? And he was like, yep, can do that. The luxury of having a second. And I'm like, yes, thank you.
That's what I bought my third camera for. That's what I started doing this year, and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Has it worked well? Because whenever I've tried it, I've struggled. I've never got
It's
the right
hard.
people at the right time.
I find that doing the groom speech is the best for reactions, because he tends to go through a list of people that he wants to thank, and it'll be like his parents, their parents, all people that are going to have emotion reactions, and then so you can just focus straight on them, and you tend to know who they are, because by that point of the day you've worked out who people are, so you can get to them. If they got loads of bridesmaids that they name, that can be difficult, but he's really good. Whereas like best man, you're basically just looking for anybody that's laughed or something. But some of the reactions I've had have been so good. And if it's a spare camera that you're not too bothered about using, if you know you're not going to need to cut to that all the time, you've got at least two other shots that you can cut to at any point, then there's low pressure on it. If you don't get anything from it, you don't get anything from it. Otherwise, what are you doing? You're just standing and checking the cameras and moving angles between speeches.
Yeah, when you shouldn't have moved it. When like if anything, it'll make my speeches better, because I won't be dicking about with the cameras when I should be leaving
just
them.
leave it. So you're happy with the angle, leave it.
Do you just leave that camera just rolling the entire time then, and do you actually cut it into your speeches edits, or are you literally just B-rolling for B-roll footage for the film?
Yeah, I leave it rolling, but I find that I can't multicam it because it's difficult. I sort of put it above the multicam in the timeline and then cut it out, because a lot of it's not going to be used. Yeah. But to kind of look, it's hard to see what's going on and where those things link up.
But some of those reactions do make it into your multicam edit though, do they? Like the final delivery of the speech. Yeah. Because again, like that's what as the groom I'd want to see. I don't care about necessarily see me speak or like the speakers. I see a bit of them, but I want to see how people reacted to it, because you just want, as bride and groom, to feel like your guests have had a good time at your wedding, don't you? And to have visual proof of it is amazing, right?
Yeah. Or at least just have a camera that's on the bride or the top table or something. Yeah. Because I think at one point I literally just prioritized filming that person that's talking, and that's like you said, that's mad. Why would he want to watch himself back speaking about his bride? He would at least want to know how she reacted to it and look at her. Yeah. So it's just adding.
Otherwise, it just looks like you're speaking to an empty room, like doesn't it? Yeah.
But even if you've got like one on him and then one wide shot, it's not necessarily honing in on her reaction. It's nice to have a more kind of a closer shot on her. Or the top table.
Yeah, 100%.
I love it. Reactions.
So earlier today, Becky K, you put a really interesting post in the UK wedding videographers group, didn't you?
I did.
And talk us through that, the motivation behind it, what the question was, and the kind of results you've seen from it as well.
So I am constantly curious about how men and women see things differently in this industry. And I was curious as to that I was thinking about the main difference between how men and women perceive things and react to things. And what I was starting to notice in the Facebook group that's just women. Can we name it? Should we name it? Do we name it, Becky?
Slags.
You mention it in yours all the time, right?
Oh, no, I don't. Yeah, in the Slags group.
Slags.
Yeah.
Shoot
So-
like
She
a
stands
girl.
for shoot like a girl.
In
That
the
is
shoot-
the coolest name for a group ever.
Well, it's the coolest group ever. So in the Slags group, I had noticed more and more people's concerns and issues were actually grounded in people trying to please their clients. So women trying to please their clients on a personal level, and people getting really stressed about it and really taking it to heart, and something that I can relate to 100%. And I just thought, something like that. You don't often see that in the more male-dominated group, UK Wedding Videographers Group. And then I was just thinking about how that then leads into self-confidence, and then also general, it's a strong word, I would probably say nervousness more than anxiety. But I thought, do men and women get similar nerves before the wedding? Or is my assumption that men are generally more confident going into a wedding day, filming a wedding day, correct? So I did a little poll, guys. So for the UK Wedding Videographers Group, the question was, do you feel nervous in the days leading up to a wedding day?
This had to be people that have been in it for a year.
Oh, over a year. Sorry, I put over a year because I thought then you're kind of feeling you should be feeling quite confident in what you're doing and not just
Over a
starting
year.
out.
Like 1 year, I was not confident in like a year.
No, but
I think it took me at least 3.
But you've got, yeah, I know, but this is what we're going to say because
Right.
still nervous. So I'm going to do it on percentage. So do you feel nervous in the days leading up to a wedding day? So 38% said yes, and 56% said no. The other
So this
little
is all the men. This is males,
This
right?
is all the men. So predominantly they said no. However, we had
That really surprises me.
we had 56 comments saying yes. They all spoke about how, well, they were the odd one that was like, not at all. But mostly people were opening up, writing long explanations as to why they feel nervous, what they're experiencing, which was amazing to read. Because I just thought, oh, guys, you guys are legends. Like, you're still, like, being really open about it. And I think you tend to hide that stuff. I think particularly if you're a guy, you think that you've got to put on this kind of front. Correct me if I'm wrong, Roo, but
No, I 100% agree, yeah.
this is what I'm assuming.
Totally.
So to see people like talk so openly about it was awesome, and I'm hoping there's someone out there who's been shitting themselves for ages and then goes, "Oh right, it's not just me. I am okay." You know, right? So that was the result of the men. That
Can I mention one comment that I saw in there as well?
Yeah.
As one guy said, I've been in not once in 20 years. Not felt nervous once in 20 years. That's a psychopath. Surely. Like, that's an insane thing to say, right?
Oh.
Isn't it? Do you not think that's insane?
Yeah, it is.
How can you be responsible for recording the best day of someone's life and not have felt nervous once?
No,
Yeah,
because you can be
that's
amazing at your job and things can still go wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
equipment fails all the time, and some days are such high pressure, or some couples, they put so much pressure on you, and they come up with this list of things that they want. I mean, and that doesn't happen usually, but yeah, how can you never feel nervous?
yeah,
Mad.
that's mad. Because I ticked no because I don't feel that nervous now, and certainly not in the days leading up to it. Maybe that first wedding back in the season where you think you forgot completely how to use your camera,
Yeah.
that kind of that then. But like certainly when the seasons go, I don't anymore. I feel nervous excitement would be the closest I'd get. Like, I'm actually buzzing, but then there's then those days where you've got a lot of logistics where you're thinking it. But compared to when I first started, where literally the 3 days building up to the wedding were a write off, like pure diarrhea, just every thought was consumed with the day.
Yeah.
But then I think the big help was moving away from photo, because it was photo where I thought all my mind I was worrying about the people pleasing aspect and making sure the day goes. When it came to video, I thought I could slink off in the background and be creative and not have to worry about people facing stuff. But and it gave me a perspective of weddings where I could take a step back and look. And I even saw the photographers, the ones that were stressing were actually, it wasn't helping their output on the day. So when I do photo now, I'm not as stressed because I know it doesn't help to just relax and take your time. Like, you get to a certain point where you know you can deliver something decent, even into you have those weddings where you have terrible circumstances and you still deliver something half decent. You think, right, I back myself now. So I think that's why I'm at the point now where I don't feel certainly not the crippling nerves I used to have. I'm just more kind of like a buzzing excitement. But there's no way that you could
Do you know
go
what,
your
Rue?
entire career.
You replied to one of my first ever posts in that group, which was about anxiety.
Did I? What did I say?
You gave me amazing advice. I can't remember.
Really?
I can find
Yeah.
it,
I can't remember
but
what it is,
let
but
me
it was
give you
amazing.
the slags results.
Oh yeah. To the girls, sorry. Typical bloke, not letting the women speak about their feelings.
Right. Do you feel nervous in the lead up to a wedding day? 51% said yes.
Right.
And
Okay.
16% said no. And then
What?
someone
something.
added a thing I shouldn't have done, put sometimes, and they put 30%. So I don't know how to take that now, guys. Other than I think sometimes could be classed as yes. So yeah, so I think generally women do feel more nervous, although I have to caveat with the fact that they are also photographers and videographers. This poll was rubbish.
Yeah, but also, no, but also in the UK wedding videographer groups, there's a lot of them that do both, like me, for example.
Yeah,
But I mean, I don't really do photo
yeah.
now, but I have. So it's a lot. So I think it is probably more balanced. But then, yeah. So what's your thoughts on that? Then those results, then, and what you? So wait a minute.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
51% said
Yes.
yes?
Yeah. So that was 51%. Oh, and then there
I
was
think
a
the
small
16% that said no is the biggest kind of telling answer.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot of people that
That's
said
it.
no
Thank you,
in
Becky.
The male group. Yeah.
Making sense
to be
of this whole
confident
thing.
enough to say no, I don't ever feel nervous. But then Rue said no, and he's admitted that he occasionally feels nervous.
So mine would be, but for me, yeah, it depends how you take it as well. Because I'm thinking of nervous as in, do you know when you genuinely are properly worried and like kind of like you don't feel wow from it? Whereas maybe that's a little bit like I've just basically reframed nerves in my mind. I think that's been what's really been helpful. It's like kind of like thinking, right, this isn't like. Whereas nerves, you're thinking, oh, he's gonna cock it up because he's nervous. I'm thinking, no, this is my body getting ready to, for game time. Like kind of like these aren't things to fear. These kind of feeling the thoughts swirling in my head where I plan the day out is actually a powerful thing.
That's what. Do you know what? You've had that belief for ages because that's roughly what you said in that reply to the thing that I put up about anxiety.
Was it?
Because I was feeling very, very anxious in the first couple of years, and then I've been feeling nervous rather than anxious again in this year more than last year, and I'm not sure why, which is maybe why it's been on my mind as well to find out like who else is feeling this. But someone said in that comment in the guys said if there is a new photographer I've not worked with, then I'll be really nervous. And that's exactly what's going through my mind. And I was like, oh, so it's not just the girls. Like, guys feel this too. Guys don't always have this solid confidence that necessarily we might assume that they've got.
Yeah.
I sometimes think women get nervous on a personal level more than men. So, like if you have a girls' night out, and then the next day, women will do this thing where they go, "Oh my God, I said this." They're never going to forget that. It's ruined our relationship. I have never had Jamie go out on a night and come back and say, "God, I said this. I took the piss out of so and so that they're not going to be my mate anymore." So, and I wonder whether women will hear something maybe the bride said to them on a call and take that personally, worry that they didn't have like quite a good relationship with them, and then how's that going to affect them on the day? Whereas men maybe don't have that worry so much. So,
are we more as a female species? Do you think
hard
we're
work?
more? Do you think we're more?
You're not getting me cancelled. I'm not saying anything.
I'm sorry, but we can say it because we're the women. And also,
are you asking me? Are you actually asking me? Or are you asking?
We've had big conversations on our pod about hormones and things. That's another thing that obviously affects us. Periods, cycles. That's constantly. We could show up to a wedding on one day feeling absolutely amazing, and then the following week we're a nervous wreck because of the hormones that we're.
Do you think, Becky, we are more people pleasers as a species, though?
Yeah, but
don't you find anyone that's doing this job, look, we're drawn towards it because we're people pleasers, although there may be females in general maybe more people pleasing, but I know every single bloke that I kind of know, well, it's certainly my close circle of friends, they're insane people pleasers, and it's almost like all of us in this job have these same characteristics, riddled with ADHD for a start, like massive people pleasers, kind of like all those things seem to be in every single person that does this role. So
And is that creative, G? Is that from creativity or is that something else?
I don't know. Like, yeah, potentially. Yeah. And also all the blokes that I know doing this job, they're not men either. Do you know what I mean? They're like very... Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, you tell love stories, essentially. That's our job, isn't it? So,
excuse me.
Yeah,
no.
We're also, a lot of us are big introverts as well. I mean, you hear that all the time. People are like, if I didn't go to weddings, I'd just spend a lot of time just indoors all the time. I wouldn't go out all the time.
What?
Why is that? I mean, we chat... We're chatting to people. We're working with hundreds of people on a day.
Yeah. And if they're an extrovert, they're one of those I consider myself like an introverted extrovert.
Extroverted introvert.
Right. Yeah. That.
Because
so I can put on the show. I can be what I need to be.
Yeah.
But the whole time I'm going.
Yes.
But I'm really good at small talk. I feel like just to toot my own horn. But I've had to train myself because I remember when I was younger, I could not engage in a conversation with people, and I was so kind of in awe of people that could. Like my brother-in-law, he was so good at just anyone just being able to chat to. But I feel like I can do that now. But I've had to actually train myself because inside I'm like I used to be like, I don't know how to. What do I say to these people?
Now you're hosting conferences, Ruth.
Yeah.
Look at you bringing the community together, initiating conversations.
Yeah, I mean, literally, it's my whole personality is now.
And podcasting.
It's trying to
That's
get fit.
talking.
I had to train. I weren't like I've had to train myself to be like that.
Well, you're smashing.
It's interesting when you're saying about the kind of anxiety females maybe think on a wedding day is from like the kind of personal and the social aspect. I think you're dead right there because when I've ever been nervous about a wedding day, it's only ever been about me worrying I'm going to cock something up, like logistically or cameras or technically. Never worrying about like kind of me saying something stupid because I do that all the time.
I just want everyone to like me. That's my problem.
Yeah,
like me, love me. Yeah. Why? And I was like, I've said this about the photographer that I'm worried about. I'm like, I mustn't try and become his best friend. If he doesn't like me, he doesn't like me. I need to do my job, get on with the day, and that's it.
It's interesting that you said he there. Yeah. If you've got to worry about a wedding day in the photographer, is it because it's going to be a male photographer? Would you have the same concerns if it's a female?
Just a specific one.
It's because they haven't. It's because they haven't reacted to my Instagram message how I thought they might.
Oh, okay. So we're being very specific here. Right. Okay.
So I reach out to all photographers and say hi on Instagram and introduce myself. And most will be like, oh, that's so nice that you've reached out, blah, blah. Because I don't think many videographers do this. I don't know. But a lot of the time, you're the only one that's actually reached out and said hi before the day. Just to break the ice. And
I think I do with most.
Okay.
I do as well, and I've had it loads where they've not said anything, not messaged, and then you get there on the wedding day, and then always like, oh, sorry, I haven't. Then randomly it becomes red when you're there on the wedding day. Like, I'm so sorry, I didn't reply to your message. Like, okay, yeah. So you've had someone leave you on. Have they actually read it? Or do you not know?
No, he's replied. He won't listen to this, will he? But I've basically said...
Right, I'm really getting the wrong end of the stick here. Go on, break it down.
Basically, in it, I just said, hi, blah, blah, and I said a line saying, essentially, I'm just not a dick. And then he didn't reply. He did reply, and he went, looking forward to working with you. And then I
am a dick.
And then I asked him whether he'd shot any of the venues before. He didn't reply.
Right.
And so that means, in my mind, that he hates me. He thinks my work's crap, and he doesn't. And he's really dreading being with a videographer on the day.
Yeah. Oh,
whereas actually, he's probably really nice, very warm and friendly, and just too busy with life, and doesn't care what other people think about him, and so he just goes on with it as a happy person.
Yeah.
Oh, it's exhausting.
But it doesn't matter what the reality of it, because it's bothering you and it's in your mind and you're worrying about it.
Yeah, but that's my issue, isn't it? It's my issue. So I didn't know whether it was an issue of that lots of people experience, and is it more men than women, or am I just a weirdo?
No, well, yeah, but I think everyone's got it from different things as well, haven't they? Specific things that bother them. But do you talking of male photographers? Because we have, like we were saying, we have to work kind of in tandem with them day, and we have to have a kind of working relationship to get the best for our couples, don't we?
Yeah.
Have you guys had bad experiences working with male photographers? Have you had bad experiences working with female photographers?
Yes.
So yes to both.
Yes to both.
And
to me. What about you, Becky? No.
I had more problems with male photographers when I was younger, so I don't know whether that was an age thing rather than a female thing. Just giving me advice that I didn't ask for. You know,
Right.
Just like you should use this equipment, and you should do this, and you should do this, and I think because they're saying it because I'm inexperienced, but I mean, we know from some of the videographers, the big videographers that there are now, you don't have to be experienced to be good at the job. I mean, there's people that have only been doing it for a couple of years and they're absolutely incredible. So
Amazing.
You know, when you meet a photographer for the first time, they don't know your work, and then they feel the need to give you advice that you haven't asked for before they've even seen your work. You kind of think, well, you don't know. You have a look at it. And I often do remember having photographers being obviously shocked when they've seen what I produced afterwards, because they just presume that it wasn't going to be that high quality because of the way that I worked, and it wasn't the way that they thought I should work. But yeah, I don't know if that was more because I was inexperienced than because I was female.
Right. Yeah, because I'd say I've had photographers do the same to me, but I've never had a female photographer do that to me. But I've definitely had male photographers like kind of say, "Oh, why aren't you doing this? Why don't you do that?" And you like, I don't know. I don't even.
I just think it's because women don't care about what you're using.
Yeah.
Or how you're doing
Why
it.
do they not care?
I know. I mean, they care if you're going to be the type of videographer that gets in the way. That's the one thing that is that's talked a lot about.
Right. I mean, sorry,
on,
you mean like
groups.
a female photographer wouldn't care about? Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, they don't care about what gear you're using or anything. But if you're going to be awkward and in the way, they care about that kind of stuff.
Yeah. They want to know the tripod number.
Yeah, they want to. Yeah. Are you putting it down the aisle? Yes, I am.
Absolutely, I am, and you're standing behind it because no one cares about your stupid photos.
Oh, it's a dream though when you get on with a photographer, and it's an even amazing dream when they become your friend. And I've had my 3 closest mates I've met job as a photographer, and they're just incredible. It's just amazing. So then when you do come across awkward situations, you're like, oh, why? I know that I'm not hard to work with.
Yeah. And when you've had awkward situations, what has it been like? Has it literally been just a clash of styles, or is it literally like personalities?
I'll try and make it succinct. I had this one experience where the photographer hadn't ever worked with a wedding videographer before.
Is this a female photographer?
This is the female photographer. And at the rehearsal, I mentioned that I would be with them on the portrait shot. And she was like, "What? Why? Why would you do that? Why would you come?" She was so confused. She didn't really, and I said, "Oh, have you worked in a really nice way?" I said, "Have you not worked with a videographer before?" And she went, "Yes, I have. Yes, never come with on the." And I was like, "Oh, fine." And then she goes, she works in another industry, without revealing who she is. She works in another industry mainly, and then came into weddings to do this wedding. And she'd worked with videographers in that industry, which is completely different to working with a wedding videographer. And that night, we left on, "Oh, bye, looking forward to working with you tomorrow." And that night, she sent me a long Instagram message about how I'd really disrespected her, and how she just thought I shouldn't come with her on the couple shoot, and she needed her time with the couple, and this, that and the other, and it was just terrifying. I was absolutely terrified.
Wow.
I was really intimidated, and I called a male photographer that I'd worked with recently that year, because he was really good with advice. And he was just like, "You've just got to kill him with kindness." And I sent a really kind of very nice reply, just explaining how it worked, and I had very much respect. She's a good photographer, so I had great respect for her and everything. Yeah, and then I was shaking driving up to the bridal fet, and I was like, "This is gonna be horrible." And then she came in, and we didn't say anything all day, and I was just really nice, and it was fine, but I just thought that was so unnecessarily, and I couldn't sleep the night before because I was so worried about it. But again, is that on me? Is that me reacting, like overreacting? Like, do you know what I mean?
Well,
I don't know.
I think
like,
anyone would be put into a spin by that. But what did she think you'd done to disrespect her? Was there did you do a portrait shoot during that rehearsal the night before, or were you
No. That I was just going to be on the portrait shoot on the wedding day. She thought that was
disrespectful. She thought that was disrespectful to her.
Yeah, but also like how and she just said completely. I can't remember the full text, but it gave me the impression of, oh, this is going to be a really difficult day.
Wow.
But the couple never found out. No one else
Yeah.
found out other than that photographer and my other mate who sent me messages through the day going, "Are you winning? Are you all right? Are you okay? Just hang in there. We're on your side. It's okay. You've got this." It's so nice.
Wow.
It was so nice to have that, actually. It really helped. And also what helped was I had my second with me.
Yeah.
So I was able to lean on it. They lean on
Did you
her.
go on a portrait session?
Yeah. Of course I did. Yeah.
So how did you like word that? How did you like word that to her? Like you
I
basically said,
I let her lead it completely in terms of I backed off so much. I didn't even suggest anything other than a walk to get some movement. And it was fine. But it's just what I did on the day. So
was she really nervous during the portrait session? Was she like, is that what her problem was? Like she was fretting. I imagine if she's not predominantly a wedding photographer, like if you're dipping in and out of it, like the portrait session is the most high pressure bit. I think that's when you really.
That's why she wanted that one-on-one time with them, because that's how she'd done her stuff before. But she just thought I would be difficult, I think.
I'm surprised you didn't drop the old, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. Can you please explain that to the couple? Because they're going to expect some portrait shots in their film."
Oh, no, it's fine. I did do it. And then I had an experience with a guy photographer who I said when they arrived, never worked with him before, really excited to work with him, really thought his stuff was awesome. And when he arrived, I said, "Do you want me to show you where the dress is?" Because, do you not do that as well? Where you go,
Yeah, I do,
that's the time to go away
If I'm
with
there
them
first,
and break ice and go, "Hey, this is where the dress," and just have a quick hi. And he just looked at me and went, "No, you're all right." I went, "All right." And that was fine. I was like, that was weird, but it was fine. And then...
You thought you meant you wanted to show him your dress.
Yeah, maybe. And then in this massive confetti moment we had, huge confetti moment. It was a huge wedding, ginormous wedding. I had a drone up in the sky. I had, not my drone, don't fly drones. I had... my second camera girl, from above shooting down on this place. I'm not going to give away where it was, but it was a huge confetti moment. And I'm stood next to the photographer. And he looks at me and looks at my lens and goes, "You're going to need more than a 50. I went, What? And he went, "You just got 50 mil. It's like,
what's he
I'm
mean?
all right. I don't know. I was just
What's he mean by that?
I think I'm okay. And he went, "Right." And then I just didn't know what to do. I just carried on. And then he started to get in my mingling shots. He started to stand next to all the guests I was filming, so I couldn't film them
On purpose,
I didn't know whether he was being funny. And then we were trying to do the big group shot, this massive group shot, and he went, "Oh, I don't do those." I went, "What?" And he goes, "I don't do group shots. I'll leave you to it." Okay. Just being so difficult.
What do you want the group shot for?
Well, I was then able to use the drone, get the drone guy to take
right.
drone shot. But it was just weird. So I felt throughout the day it was very awkward. And I got really panicky halfway through the day. And I got very, very flustered by it. And there was other stuff that was said, and it was horrible. And then I basically ended the day crying on the way home to my other photographer mate. So my photographer mate just going, he was so difficult. Then I was like, I'll never work with him again. Fine. And then another opportunity came up for another wedding, and it was a small wedding, and it ended up being the same photographer. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to be a big girl here and just shoot again. And then in the break, I actually just had it out with him a little bit and just said, "Look, this is how you made me feel."
Yes, Becky.
I just said the same because he had started that day much nicer and was kind of different. And so I thought, oh, actually, he's actually nice. I don't know.
Oh, it's so good you could say it. I could never.
Well, I just said it.
I'd just repress it for years and it turned into a tumour.
And he kind of went, "Oh, yeah, I was a bit of a dick. I could see how I could be seen as a bit of a dick," or something like that. And I went, "Yeah." And he went, "All right." So I can't remember if he said sorry. Did he say sorry? Anyway, I was fine and he was fine.
Well, that's really interesting. I mean, I guess we don't know what people are going through themselves on a day, but whatever you're going through in your personal life, there is no need to be he was playing psychological warfare there, especially in the confetti line.
It was a bit weird.
What did he mean by more than 50? Did he mean longer or wider? That's what we want to know.
But also I was like, I've got a drone in the air and I've got that person standing up there.
Yeah.
I've got 3 cameras.
I think I'll be all right. And also, that is not the time to mention it. Just about to do confetti. That's not enough.
Yeah.
Right, let's go.
Oh,
So,
and that,
so he
and that
wasn't,
same
he wasn't
way-
taking a piss, was he? Because that's kind of, maybe that's something I'd say just
Could
to
have
take
done.
the piss,
Yeah.
having a joke, but
Yeah.
banter.
He could have done, but I actually said to him, "You're really annoying me."
No.
I said, "You're really annoying me. I don't know why. You're stressing me out." And then he went, "Oh," and just walked away. So I was like, I don't know. Who
It's
knows?
amazing how that relationship with someone you're working with can have such a big impact on your day.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, I need to not try and be best friends with, like, just do your job. Just, Becky, do your job.
Yeah, but that's one of the things I love about the job, though, because when it is someone that you get on with,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
And
really
you
great,
will.
isn't it? It's work.
But if you don't take it to heart and just focus on the job.
I guess, yeah, don't force it if it's not happening, because you don't need to, as long
Yeah.
as you're like amicable with each other.
Yeah.
But when you bounce off each other, not only do you both get great work, but the couple love it, don't they? Because
Yeah,
they can feed off your energy
they
as
do.
well.
And they mention it after they work so well as
Yeah.
a team. And well, I'm again blessed at being on such a small island because I work with the same photographers over and over again. And now I just love the
Yeah.
photographers that I work with, and I tend to only work with them on the island.
Isn't that an amazing feeling when you got wedding coming up and you go, oh, with
So
them,
good.
yes.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
almost like the energy is like,
Yeah.
it's raised like even more when
So
you know you're
good.
gonna
I
go
always
along
worry that I
to it.
don't work as hard, though.
but
Because
you do,
It's, like,
you
it's
do.
a bit of
I know
a
what you're
social.
I know what you're saying.
Especially
yeah.
when it's not just the photographer. Like, you go to event, you know loads of the suppliers, you know the venues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just like,
Well, that's Jersey
I'm just
for
going
you.
to chat for the whole of the break. I'm not going to do any extra bits.
Yeah, photography, if the photography you don't like, wow, you get like 90% more candids.
Yeah,
You-
loads of
you're
stuff
getting
around the
candids during the
tables.
meal.
Yeah.
If you are still delivering your wedding films on a USB or struggling to find a sleek professional way to showcase your work, it's time to upgrade your delivery experience with VidFlow, the ultimate online gallery for wedding filmmakers. With VidFlow, your couples can watch their wedding films in stunning quality on any device, including their TV, making it easier than ever for them to relive their best day with family and friends. Plus, with custom branding, easy downloads and cloud backup, you get a premium, hassle-free delivery solution that makes you look as professional as your films deserve. I've been using VidFlow for the last year and my couples have been amazed by its slick interface, especially on their TV. It's like having their very own Netflix of their wedding films. You only pay for what you need, and each of my 4K galleries only cost me about £15, and they stay online for 10 years, so it's a complete no-brainer. Join thousands of filmmakers who have already made the switch, and try VidFlow for free by using the link in the description. Take your film delivery to the next level. Now let's get back to the episode. Let's round this up now, guys. So
Okay.
the question I ask everybody, I mean, Becky T, I've asked you this question in your Coda podcast, so I will go to you, Becky K, with it. But if Becky T, if this question has changed for you, it is going to be, what were the biggest light bulb moments in your career so far when something suddenly made sense, and how did you progress or find a path you wanted to take?
Everyone's been saying it, Ro, and I hate to say stuff that people have said before, but it was Coda, and I sent
yes.
I sent you a
Nice.
long message after. Don't know if you remember. Felt a bit emotional afterwards. In fact, you made
I remember
me
us
cry.
both having a cry directly after it.
Basically,
after Coda.
you know, this job is incredible, but it's really intense. It's really tough on you as a person. It's hard work, but also you put a lot of your soul into it. Well, I put a lot of my heart and soul into it, so it's a lot. So when I came to Coda last year, it was the end of my 4th year, and it had been a really full-on year with filming, but also I was tackling this insane backlog that I just always have. It's becoming a trademark. And I was just like, just really feeling it. And then I went to Coda and I felt amazing, like meeting all these people, making incredible like connections, and seeing people that you would just see on Instagram and stalk, and then you would see them in real life, and you there they were actually real people, incredible. And then you did your blimmin' talk at the end, and you put your slide up that said, what would you rather see, your grandma's wedding photos or your grandma's wedding video? And I just burst into tears. I'm going to cry now, because that was it. I was like, that's why I'm fucking doing this still. This is it. I just need to keep going. And so I came away from that weekend just being like, yes, let's go. And that just like propelled me into this year, and I've kept it with me, and I have felt better this year, and I feel like then I was like, okay, community is the thing here as well. Community is important because it's really can be so lonely, this job, as well as being uber social. You're surrounded by hundreds of people one day, and then you're sat on your own staring at a screen the next, and it's mad. It's so up and down. So I was like, community, and I was like, oh, podcasts, and I was like, podcast, Becky, we should do podcasts. And now because we've got another level to it all, it's more than just videography now. This is now community, and it's about connections, and it's about relationships, and it's about something bigger than it ever was. And so thanks, Rue. Looking forward to the next one.
See now that's my favourite answer. Bless you, but I remember at the end, like, I was both just having a cry at the end, like I was just overwhelmed, like I was like, thank God no one's died at this conference.
Yeah.
But, mate, I really appreciate those words, but I feel like obviously the video world is growing, isn't it? And there's just so many more opportunities to go together. But I think that's so important for us because we are so unique as suppliers. As in the other people that we've got friendly with, we get friendly with photographers because we're working with them all the time, but they can't relate to us because the workload for us really starts after the wedding, and it's intense, and it can be kind of this pile of doom. Can't it? Like the edit queue, it's such a unique experience where most suppliers finish the wedding, their work is done. Photographers have got their edits to do, but so much of the heavy lifting of that has been taken away from them. I feel like I can say that because I do photo. The edit for a photo wedding is insane. It's nowhere near as intense as it is for us. So we have to go down this kind of like, it's scary, isn't it? You're shooting all these weddings and you're adding to this queue, which is always looming over you. But to have people going through that same experience I think it's almost it feels like it's a requirement to be able to keep sane. You need to have people going through the same experience as you around you, so you can keep yourself above water.
Oh, it's the support, isn't it? You need each other for support.
Yeah. Becky T, can I quickly ask you? I know Becky K had the final question there, and I've asked you about the kind of game-changing moments in your career before, but how are things going to change for you now you've just had your second daughter? How old is she at the moment? Your youngest?
Month-old today.
1 month old. So
yeah.
Congratulations, mate.
Thanks.
And has anything changed from when we had our conversation before on the podcast and now with that big life change?
I mean, it'll be great not to be trying to have a baby. That's taken over my life for the past however many years. But I mean, that's a big point. When something massive is happening in your personal life, it affects your business. And that journey has been really hard, and it's been difficult to cope with that alongside running your own business as well, especially as we both have our own businesses. So it's nice to have that kind of sense of relief that part of life is over, and we're definitely done with 2 of them. But yeah, I think it comes back when we had Imogen, the little one, it really showed us how big our eldest was. She's 5 now, and it just really honed in on that, how fast time flies, and that has kind of made us both think, gosh, we really need to focus on them. So although and we really love our businesses, so we do have to have a focus on that, but trying to prioritize family life as well, and not just saying yes to every work that comes our way, because it is a brilliant job for around family life. It can be really flexible, but like Becky said, it can also be really intense at different parts of the year, and you miss a lot of weekend time and things like that. So yeah, just trying to remember to spend time with family as well, and not get too lost in difficult parts of the job. So I guess that's not really answering your questions work-wise, but it is in a way, like maintaining that work-life balance and trying not to get caught up too much in, all these content creating things and all the pressures of that. That's really hard, but yeah. Yeah,
beautiful. Well, guys, where can people find the Becky Sessions? Let's get that plug in. Come on, where can they find you?
Becky Sessions!
Yeah. It's worth noting that Becky K does little songs for every single episode, for a variety of different subjects.
She doesn't sing the theme tune.
No, that's done by my friend Amy Moore. Shout out.
Great theme tune, by the way. You guys have got the best podcast intro in the business. I'm putting it out there. 100%. I love
Thanks,
it.
Jack GPT.
Yeah.
No, we came up with that all by ourselves.
Yeah.
Not at all. We can find us on.
Well, anywhere where you get your podcast, Spotify,
Well, no, only if you got your podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
So what does
Nowhere
it search
else.
for?
It's
You just
so
search for the-
unbelievably professional. Just search for the Becky Sessions.
Season 1 consists of 13 beautiful episodes, touching on topics such as dealing with hormones, holding tarantulas, walking
And with some
llamas.
really great guests as well.
Oh, forgot about the
It's not
guest!
just us.
Because we've had Laura Lawson, we've had Agni Harris, and Sean from Truly Madly Films.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome guest, great podcast. And also there's a discussion about the difference between llamas and alpacas, which is worth getting into as well, right?
Oh, that was good.
That was a thing.
That is, yeah.
That's amazing what they did. That was good. Good episode.
It's
All right.
educational, very educational.
It is inspirational.
Even
Well.
if you're not a woman, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm loving it. I'm always just giggling away, and I think because I know you guys as well, but it's almost funny, like seeing you are like the kind of the perfect duo of like your personalities to put together. It's just a great combination.
Oh, thanks.
It's
But
such a
we
great
have the
listen.
same name.
That's where the similarities end, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like
The
awesome.
name.
But cheers, guys. Thank you so much for joining me at this late hour. And I know I had to battle to be able to get you out this evening because you've got busy lives and you're all exhausted. And there's a screaming baby in the background. But don't worry,
Yep.
Jamie will handle it.
It's got it.
Yeah. But cheers, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Coda Podcast. To find out more about the other educational resources we have on offer, including our annual conference and yearly membership, please visit coda-conference.com.